Let's get a divorce.
What?
I'm taking over my lover's company. So, I don't need you anymore.
My husband, Mark, said this with a triumph on his face. From my point of view, I was rather surprised when he started confessing about his lover to himself.
Okay, I don't really care. Here's the divorce paper.
My husband looked at me with wide eyes as I handed him the divorce papers that I had taken out of the drawer. My name is Lily Smith, and I am a 36 office worker. My husband, Mark, and I have been married for 3 years now. We met on a blind date set up by our mutual friend. My husband approached me aggressive, was attracted to him. So that's why to go out and go on dates. We went out on dates frequently, and later, after we began dating, Mark proposed to me and we got married. Mark was always kind to me, and I thought I'd have a wonderful life if I married him. In fact, our married life was quite enjoyable, but there were some things that were different from what I had expected when I got married. And that's it. My husband doesn't do any housework or chores at all.
I was always eating out at restaurants or eating pre-made meals from shops.
Like that, my husband has rarely cooked meals by himself, even when he was on his own. He also said that his mother would come over sometimes to help with cleaning. So I always came home from work and the housework and chores. Sometimes I casually appealed to help me out on some chores, but stubbornly refused to help. But he never complains when I work that he had to have a late dinner because of it. So I guess I should be thankful for that. Other than not doing any housework, I am pretty much normal, and we talk a lot about our respective workplaces. I think my physical workload is being responsible for all the household tasks, but I'm managing these days by buying pre-prepared meals and cutting back on some housework. So even though I wasn't happy, I was still enjoying our marriage in my own way. Before I knew it, I was married to my husband for 3 years. I had hoped that this relationship would change again once we had a child, but we were unable to have one due to medical reasons. Thinking that perhaps one of us might be causing it, I suggested to my husband that we should have some tests done for infertility treatment. But to that, my husband's reaction was surprising.
We don't have to have kids, right?
Pardon me?
I was completely surprised to what's said. I had thought that people usually wait until they're older to have kids, but it is true that there may be fan want to spend time alone without having any kids. Maybe my husband was thinking of the same thing.
Just in case, may I ask why?
Ah, well, what can I say? They're just trouble and
Huh?
To be honest, I was disappointed by the statement from my own husband. It wasn't because he had a good reason, but because it was a random and vague one. But at the same time, I felt that if I had a half-hearted feeling about having a child in that kind of condition, the child would be very vulnerable.
See, okay, I get it. Then I understand. We won't try for any kids.
When I said that, my husband looked relieved. I was very disappointed that he did any kids that badly. Not only did he not want any kids doing all the work around the house, moreover, I can't say it out loud to provoke my husband's pride, but is considerably higher than his. So it is no exaggeration to say that main breadwinner of this house. Furthermore, we have been talking less and less lately than we used to before. My husband has stopped communicating with me more recently. He is always on his phone, even on days off. He often says I'm going out for drinks with my friends and then goes to lunch and comes home late sometimes. On most weekends, I am alone. Even when we have dinner together, he is very quiet and doesn't talk much. Because of this, I do feel that If this situation continues, I may have to end my marriage with him. I was having such a hard time in my marriage that I was actually considering divorce. And it was at such a point in time that I came to learn about something very surprising. On one Saturday night, I was sitting in my room, bored out of my mind. My husband was out drinking with his as usual. In the midst of all this, I received a message from one of my best friend. I was surprised to receive a message out of the blue because she said that her husband was going to a luxurious restaurant for a dinner today for their anniversary. But what she had messaged me was surprising.
Hey Lily, your husband Mark just came into the restaurant with a woman I've seen before.
I froze when I saw Anna's message. No way is my husband having an affair with another woman. It's at a fancy restaurant, and he'd never taken me there or been there before. According to Anna and her observations, it didn't seem like a work or friends atmosphere, but clearly exuded the lovers. I was getting angrier and angrier at my husband, and then it all made sense. The hassle of having children, the fact that he frequently went out for drinks with friends on the weekends, and the fact that she was so concerned about his phone. If I thought about it, all of these certainly make it likely that he was having an affair. Why didn't I suspect it earlier? But I still don't really know if he is having an affair with another woman. So I immediately requested an investigation to look into the case. I haven't officially obtained any solid evidence of his affair yet. Until I saw the evidence that visibly showed that Mark was having an affair, I decided to hold out just a bit of hope. But reality is cruel. A few weeks later, I received the results of the investigation, and all it could tell was that it definitely showed my husband having an affair with another woman. I was indeed surprised and shocked. Although we've been having many misunderstandings lately, I still love my husband and want to believe he loves me too. However, my husband had acted in a violated my feelings. Can't believe it. How could he have an affair with a woman so easily? Moreover, it seems that my husband to various fancy restaurants with, is he really spending that much money to devote all on his lover? And when I began to think that, I realized something. It was something my husband had beer me to do for about 6 months. My husband had asked me to put some money into the house because he was sending money to his parents. Since I was earning more than my husband, he asked me to support him a little. It's not like I dislike my in-laws, and my own parents had already passed away, and I had no relatives who I could turn to, so I just agreed to his idea. I am sure that my husband used that devote for his own lover. Thinking that, I became even more disillusioned with my husband. I wondered how far he would go to us, his own convenience. I was also angry at myself for not about this earlier, that my husband deceiving me all this time. So I decided to start making various preparations so that I could divorce my husband at any time. Firstly, I had to prepare to be in Mecca. In no longer wanting to live in this house, it would remind me too much of my husband. I decided to look for a new place to call home. I was busy with work, so it was not possible to find a new house within my busy schedule. But still, I visited a real estate agent at the same time my husband was meeting with friends or his lover, as usual, for a good room suitable for living. It was a month later that I was able to decide on a new place to live. Now, I had a place to move to. All that remained was to take revenge on her husband. I hired a lawyer and prepared for it. Then one day, my husband called me living room and said he wanted to take.
Wow. It's pretty rare for you to call out for me to have.
My husband looked annoyed when I said that.
It won't take that long.
I did as I was told and sat down, waiting for my husband's next words. Then my husband grinned and began to this. I did not expect for my husband to talk and initiate about divorce. I was genuinely surprised. What kind of process do I need to go through to try to get a divorce from my wife? So I asked him, pretending not to know the truth.
Why?
Then my husband responds something surprising.
Excuse me?
Thanks for supporting me this whole. Not only do you earn a lot of money, took very good care of the house for. You were great as a housekeeper who earned a lot for me, but I won't be that anymore. Now, I will have a beautiful, young, promising future as a CEO. I am truly a winner in life. I'm sorry for what I did to you, but don't hold any grudges against me.
My husband says this with a victorious look on his face. From my point of view, I was rather disappointed that he started confessing about his lover by himself.
Okay, I don't really care. Here's the divorce paper.
When I handed him the divorce papers taken out of the drawer, he had a V6 surprised look and his eyes widened.
What the hell? Don't you think it's surprising that the whole thing happened? And when did you even prepare the D papers?
Well, your attitude towards me lately has been cold, you know. That's why I thought we were getting a divorce. And it would be more convenient for we got divorced early.
Oh, yeah.
My husband was surprised, but he realized it was a win-win situation for him and his company.
I didn't think you were that unkind, but thank you for that then. Thanks for everything until now. Well, enjoy your single life at best.
My husband seemed to be enjoying himself while he said that. I pretended that I was not angry and spoke to my husband frankly.
Have you already talked to your lover's father?
Oh no, not yet. But she told me that it's already been decided that the man she chooses will become the new CEO. So since I'm gonna marry her, it deals with me being the CEO.
See. Well, I wish you all the best.
Oh, I'm the happiest I've ever been in life.
My husband looks like he's getting away, and he doesn't even know the hell he's about to experience after this. I silently watched my husband and eye up his belongings and leave to go lover. I struggled to hold back my laughter, left the house. I then sold the house shortly after my husband had left and completed my McWell. The next step was to officially begin my revenge against my husband. What I would do, however, was all I had to do was send a content letter to my husband's workplace and lover's parents' house. With this, my revenge against my husband is complete. All that remained was for my husband to ruin himself all on his own. 23 days after sending certified mail, I received a call from my husband.
Hello?
Hey, what the hell did you do? Why the hell did you send a content letter to my workplace and her pair house?
Well, why wouldn't I send them? You had an affair behind my back, V. Normally, you would file a claim for alimony against the husband and his mistress, then proceed with the divorce, right?
What? I thought you forgave me and my lover.
Are you stupid? Where in the world would anyone forgive the people who betrayed them and step aside as if nothing happened?
No way! But how did you know where her parents lived?
Even before you confessed, I had a professional investigator investigate your affair and obtained information about your lover. So I knew that she was the daughter president of a company, and I knew home.
How can this be?
So, what happened when I sent a content certified letter to her parents' house?
I asked with a huge grin on my face. Then my husband got angry, as if he remembered and said this. Well, yes, of you, I'm in a lot of trouble.
Because she didn't know that I was. That's why I secretly broke up with divorced you and tried to be with her. But since you sent a content certif to her parents' house, that means her parents found out about the affair I'm in a tight spot. She is furious that she was cheated. Her father has filed a complaint to my company where I work at and been fired as someone who has caused. Her father's company was an important business partner of ours.
Ah, too bad.
This is all your fault. You better take responsibility for.
What do you mean by, huh? What the hell are you saying? You were the one who betrayed me and affair behind my back, right? I only made a legitimate request. I'll make sure you pay my alimony.
No way. There's no way I can pay for your alimony after I got fired from my job.
Well, I couldn't care less about that. Get a job right now and pay me back little by little. You can.
You've got to be kidding me. You're living at our house that we together, right?
Our house? You only see things in your own Coney way, don't you? Bought that house in my name. So I already sold it.
Oh no, no way. Then where am I supposed to go now? Been kicked out of her house.
I don't know. You're a grown man, so do something on your own. Okay, well, I'll hang up now.
Wait, don't hang up.
I hung up the phone and blocked the caring about my husband's panic. Just as I wanted, my husband lost his job, and I was so relieved. After that, I officially filed AL alimony through my lawyer. I heard that my husband was living in an apartment while working at a part-time job, and he is now desperately trying to avoid paying alimony. He also tried to ask his parents for help, but since I had told them about giving him money to send for his visa, they were so furious and said that they would never give him any more money. Therefore, my husband seems to be one lonely and poor life alone, having abandoned by his own parents. While I am living in a comfortable place and working hard at my job, I have recently been promoted and my salary has gone up even more. So I am thinking of taking up a new hobby and living a luxurious life.
Mark is such a courageous husband trying to get a divorce in secret but hoping for a better marriage. But then, wouldn't it be better to not say anything about taking over your lover's company? I am glad that Lily was able to get on her scumbag husband. I hope you will be able to marry a man this time.
Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in our next video.